The Mark Robinson saga just keeps unfolding. The lieutenant governor was in Wilkesboro today, west of Winston-Salem, for a campaign event. He responded to the CNN report on the graphic comments he made years ago on a porn site, and he talked about next steps after several campaign staffers stepped down over the weekend. Robinson himself is not stepping aside, though. He says he is staying in the race. Some Republicans are standing by him. Others have been more critical. Joining me now is one of those more critical Republicans, former North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory. Thank you for being here tonight.
You're welcome.
You have been through many campaigns in your career. In your experience, is this exodus of campaign staffers as dramatic and chaotic as some say it appears?
It's probably the most we've ever seen in North Carolina political history, although at least the top two staffers were part of the people enabling this candidate, making a lot of money while doing it. Now all the money's being cut off and they're walking away. So I don't really consider that to be courageous. But at the same time, our party, under then leadership of Michael Whatley, failed in doing basic vetting for such an important job as governor. Many of us knew some dilemmas in his resume regarding bankruptcies in business and potential corruption with the businesses that he and his wife ran. So nothing should come as a surprise. And during the past many months, there have been many rumors out there regarding the lack of vetting that sooner or later would get out. And that's just irresponsible for such an important job, especially when we had two other very well-qualified candidates in the primary that I think could have very easily won the governor's seat and brought the mansion back to the Republican Party so we could continue some sound economic business and fight crime like we used to.
This is not the first time that you have talked about vetting challenges and issues. You talked about it on CNN last Friday. I want to play a clip from that. Take a listen.
With all due respect to Michael Whatley, who's now chairman of the party, of the national party, when he was North Carolina chairman, they should have done a better vetting job for such an important job. You can get away with this when running for lieutenant governor, where there's very little vetting. But when you run for the governor's office, believe me, people are going to check into your background. Sure. It's a very, very important job.
So we asked the state Republican Party about this, and a spokesperson pointed us to the party's so-called plan of organization that basically states on your screen, party officers shall refrain from utilizing the powers and dignity of his office or position in any Republican primary for public office at any level. So to you, former Governor McCrory, are we supposed to take that to mean that the party doesn't vet its candidates?
Well, I guarantee you who was vetting the candidate was the Democratic Party. And they were wanting Mike Robinson to win. And they couldn't wait for the primary to end because they did their job and vetted the opposition. It's called opposition research. And one of the things I always did, whenever I'm interviewing someone, I said, you ought to do opposition research on yourself. And Robinson should have done that to begin with, but he knew most of it and went on. So, you know, I hope this isn't true, but the fact of the matter is, if something like that wasn't true, I'd be fighting a lot harder and stating my case with specifics. But even before this, there's been just a steady roll of information out, and it's very discouraging to me, especially when we knew we had two very good candidates, Dale Folwell, Bill Graham, Mark in Greensboro, and Mark Walker in Greensboro. Yeah. They would have been all good candidates who I think could have won. And
I want to get to a bit more of what you were talking about explaining. During his event in Wilkesboro today, Robinson was asked if he is taking steps to prove the report is not true. Let me play a clip of that response. I want to get your thoughts on the other side.
We're in talks right now, everything up to legal counsel to take CNN to task for what they have done to us. We are going after them, okay? We are going to go after them for what they've done. But we have 5 weeks left in this race, folks, and make no mistake about it. We are not going to let CNN throw us off of our mission.
Okay, so what do you make of Robinson's suggestion of a lawsuit there? Not really explaining or trying to defend himself, but instead just talking about a lawsuit.
Well, I've been attacked in many different ways, and some of them inaccurate ways by members of the media, many, many times. But what you do is you immediately state where there are inaccuracies, and you state it as strong as possible, and you get into specifics, especially if it's something that would impact your family and your reputation. You don't wait. You do it right away. But even before this, there were things rolling out that are contrary to the character and the fiscal responsibility of my party here in the state. So there are things we should learn from this as a state Republican Party, and it's happened to the Democrats before too. Cal Cunningham in a Senate race, I believe, and other things. So it's happened to both parties where if you don't do the right vetting, it will bite you at the end of a campaign when these things are released. And believe me, this was most likely released in a scheduled timing manner. That's the way politics is working right now. And they did it in such a way where it was too late to find another candidate. Maybe that's just coincidental. I don't know. But I put that responsibility on us, on our party.
All right. Governor McCrory, thank you again for joining us and sharing your insights. Appreciate it.
Thank you.